Please rise for the colors and Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to our January 2019 Service Award ceremony today. My name is Jackie Tuckey and it's been my pleasure to serve as the chair of the Core Value Awards Committee for 4 years now. And I just wanted to let you know that this is very important piece of our employee recognition program. People are nominated by their peers or citizens for something that they've done that this person believes has been above and beyond the call of their job. We have a committee made up of representatives from almost all of the departments and represent all the departments in the city. We vote. All names are redacted. Nobody knows who's who, what's what. They know what's on the printed sheet. And they make a decision on who they feel this time is worthy of getting a CVA award. The remainder of our ceremony after that will be our service award pins, and we appreciate all of you coming today. And now let me turn you over to our MC, Dr. Telly Whitfield.
Wasn't expecting applause. Good afternoon, everyone. And again, welcome to the Winter 2019 City Employee Awards. Today, we celebrate over 100 employees for their outstanding years of service to the residents of the city of Fayetteville. We also want to recognize those who have successfully completed milestones in their professional development. And as Jackie just mentioned, we'd like to recognize and introduce the winners of our Core Value Awards for the period of May through November 2018. Before I move forward, I do want to do a little bit of housekeeping and recognize our guest, not really guest, but our distinguished folks over here today, which are our city council members. Our mayor could not make it today, but he does send his regards and congratulations to the folks. But we do have council member Kathy Jensen and Councilmember Tisha Waddell is with us today. We also have with us our city manager, Doug Hewitt. And before we get into our event today, we have Mr. Hewitt who has some remarks as well as a special recognition.
Thank you, Kelly. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, I would like to start as well with a few thanks. I'd like to thank the Core Values Committee who worked hard each year to put on these ceremonies. And so if we could, in advance, give them a hand as well for all the hard work. I also want to recognize the members of our extended family. So if you are a family member of an employee who will be recognized here today, if you could kind of hold your hand up and just wave it around a little bit. If we can give them a hand of applause as well. Thank you so much. We know that we can't prevent from taking work home with us. Sometimes it is the good things that we do, and sometimes it is the stress, and sometimes it is the lows that we also take home with us. But the folks at our homes are the ones who help us and sustain us, as well as help us be who we are when we're here at work. So again, thank you all for the support you give to all of our fellow coworkers. Core Values Award was something that was started while I was away from the city of Fayetteville. Came back in 2015, and I could not think of a better way to recognize employees who go above and beyond to demonstrate our core values. And our core values are, can we all say it together? We serve with respect. And each one of the letters that make up the word respect actually have a meaning. We as an organization, as a management team, and even our employees, when we developed our core values, we actually defined what each one of those words that make up respect, what it means. And I think when we go through the videos and we actually provide the presentations of the award recipients this year, you'll be able to help understand very clearly what is defined by we serve with respect. But before we get to that, I do have some special recognition I'd like to provide because, again, when I came back in 2015, I found a city that was more vibrant than the one that I left it. I feel like every day I get up, I have been blessed with the most bountiful gift, one that I didn't even know that I wanted. But each and every day, there's always something new to do here and some new wonder to explore. And I realize that it's not because of my work. It's because of the work of each of you, as well as some other folks who I'd like to recognize at this time. The city began a recognition program for employees, the Core Values Award, that was encouraged and championed by Jay Reinstein, as he guided a committee of employees to build twice-yearly awards for above and beyond performance through his positive attitude and gift for engagement with employees throughout the city. Jay has ensured that although many attempts were made in the past, the Core Values Award continues into its 4th year. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that from this day forward, it will be called the J. F. Reinstein Core Values Award. Jay, for your outstanding contributions, let me get to the microphone, to the city's mission in alignment with the city's core values of serving with respect, you're presented, of course, with your Core Values Award on this January 31st, 2019, as signed by me, City Manager. If I could ask, let's take a picture real quick here. Here we go.
My good side.
Yeah.
Hold the award.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And if I could get Councilman Waddell and Jensen to also come up as well with me. While we have everyone here and before we begin the other celebrations, it is also my distinct honor to recognize Jay for 5 years of dedicated service to the city of Fayetteville as well. So we got so much swag. We need to show one down here. Come around that way. Here's this one. And don't go anywhere. Hold on. And this is one.
Hold on.
Okay.
Is that
Yep, you're going to read this
Yeah.
one? And Jackie's going to read this one.
Jay Reinstein loves public service, and he loves people. For 20 years, he has dedicated himself to his work with 2 municipalities in the state and with numerous nonprofits. His positive attitude allowed him to be the person who got things moving forward, made him a tireless collaborator between work groups or organizations, and earned him the respect of those who worked with him. Jay began his career in government as a human resource analyst for the city of Durham. There he began cultivating his skills as he consulted with departments to develop recruitment strategies tailored to their needs. From there, he became assistant to the city manager. His ability to connect with others in a variety of departments led him to facilitating team-building training. He was the city manager's representative for many projects, including Project Safe Neighborhoods. As always, Jay looked for ways to give youth a way to build job skills for entry into an adult workforce and coordinated the mayor's Youth Works summer program. As Assistant Director of Business Services, Jay held supervisory and administrative responsibilities for the Solid Waste Management Department, where he prepared and managed a $21.5 million budget. He developed the Heavy Equipment Apprenticeship Program that helped many people build skills necessary for employment. Following a highly successful 15-year career in Durham, Jay accepted a position as Assistant City Manager with the City of Fayetteville. As liaison to the Public Works Commission, he fostered understanding and communication while developing relationships between both entities. His work with Pathways for Prosperity brought together a diverse group of people in the community to identify a variety of means for assisting those who living near or below the poverty level. Following Hurricane Matthew in 2016, Jay took on many aspects of recovery for city infrastructure and residents who lost homes in the flooding. He was instrumental in gaining millions of dollars from the Golden Leaf Foundation, in addition to FEMA reimbursements and buyouts for homeowners. The city's Economic and Community Development Department, under his supervision, took the lead in providing education and assistance to residents throughout the city. His empathy for their frustrations brought him and city staff many accolades over the past 2 years. He never lacks energy in serving his community and has given of his time and talents to benefit the people he cares about so much, as well as being a productive member of several boards of directors. Jay has spent countless hours assisting Habitat for Humanity's efforts to provide housing, both as a board director and a volunteer. He goes out of his way to walk through city departments, engaging as many staff members as possible, asking how they are doing and giving encouragement. He is quick with jokes and puns, which has led to serving as master of ceremonies on many occasions, where he perfects a bit of a stand-up routine to engage his audience. Jay is now a statewide spokesperson for the North Carolina Alzheimer's Association and will devote much of his time to educating people and talking about his experiences with the disease. He is the first person to say that he is one who is determined to stay in contact with friends, acquaintances, and the hundreds of those whose lives he has impacted throughout his career for the state of North Carolina.
And as such, Jay has been presented the Old North State Award by Roy Cooper, Governor of North Carolina, December 7th, 2018.
Thank you so much. Can I just say one?
Yes, please. I think that's
I was going to ask Jackie to read that again. I enjoyed listening to that so much. But I did want to say that, I've been away for about 3 months now. And there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about this organization, the people. I was just telling Doug, in my 20-plus years in local government, these last 5 years, and I mean it, I even tell my friends from Durham, these really were the best 5 years of my career. The people meant so much to me, and during this next phase of my life and this journey that I'll be taking, I'm having good days and I'm having not so great days, but always stay positive, and nothing means more than the support of this organization. It's like my second family. So just really thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So I knew that was coming, and I still got teary-eyed. As we move forward, that's a special person right there in Jay Reinstein. If you had an opportunity to engage with him for a short period of time, you realize that he's a special person. As we do move forward in the program, I do have a little housekeeping. Once again, we are live on Fayetteville. This year, we're going to ask for a new thing, that folks refrain from taking pictures as the recipients receive their awards. Instead, I believe we have a photo booth that's set up out in the lobby area for the recipients, family, and friends. So feel free to, after the event, to go out there and take your pictures. You can also pull a still shot from the ceremony video that will be on the city's website as well as on YouTube. So, okay, you guys good? I don't know if I am. All right, here we go. Let's get started with all these awards. It's time to present the CVAs and the service awards, but we're going to begin with the CVAs. I'd like to ask Kathy Jensen and Tisha Waddell, our council members, to join us up here with our city manager, Doug Hewitt. Each recipient will come right up right after the video begins and receive your award.
While working Hurricane Florence emergency shelter operations on the evening of September 18th, FAST operator Jennifer Green dropped off an individual who had just been discharged from a local hospital. The man spoke no English, carried very few personal belongings, and possessed no personal clothing. He had been discharged with no shoes or socks and only wearing a hospital gown. Sensing a need for compassion and intervention, Jennifer did not hesitate to offer her assistance. She proceeded to travel to her residence where she collected necessary clothing to include pants, shirts, socks, and shoes. After returning with the items a short time later, Jennifer discovered that the shoes she had brought with her were too small. She then went a step further. After taking the city vehicle back to the motor pool and clocking out, she returned to her home a second time, where she retrieved a second pair of shoes that would fit the individual. In the aftermath of Hurricane Florence, Jennifer went above and beyond to serve one of Fayetteville's residents when he needed it the most. Jennifer's actions speak highly of her dedication to the city of Fayetteville and its residents, and for this, she receives the Core Values Award.
During Hurricane Florence, Detective Mac Harder was working at the Red Cross shelter at the Kiwanis Recreation Center. He and another officer were approached by a resident who had been staying at the shelter. At the time, the man and his wife were living out of their car. The man told the officers that his car battery was dead and had been for some time, and asked if they could help him jump-start it. When asked if he had considered buying a new battery, he said he was short on the amount it would cost, but an assist with a jumpstart was all that he requested. Detective Harder decided then that he would help the couple purchase a new battery. The other police officer contributed some money to help, and Detective Harder took the man to get a battery. At the auto parts store, the man tried to pay with his prepaid debit card, but he had very little money left on it. Detective Harder paid for the battery while telling him to save his money for food. For his caring and generosity in helping this couple during an extremely stressful time in their lives, Detective Mac Harder receives the city's Core Values Award.
Congratulations.
During the weekend of Hurricane Florence, David Wright made himself available at all times to help out with whatever was asked of him. He was able to provide the tools needed to facilitate the collection of data for the Developmental Services Department's damage assessment. He listened to what their needs were, then developed the Survey 123 app. It was so easy to use, people from other departments were able to go out into the field and collect the initial damage information within a week. The Development Services Director was able to monitor the collection in real time on his computer and was able to quickly and easily identify problems that arose during the collection phase. Dave was readily on hand to work with the department to figure out timely, workable solutions for these problems. The data was submitted to FEMA much sooner than had been the case with Hurricane Matthew in 2016. It's estimated that by using the tools, it allowed them to sort through and complete their damage assessment 10 times faster. Dave took responsibility for the tools he created and made certain they would provide the necessary information the customer needed. He used good judgment and gave 100% effort during a very stressful time. He was able to leverage GIS and the technology already in place to create an innovative solution that saved the city time and money. Because of his dedication, quick thinking, use of GIS tools, and willingness to see the project through to the end, David Wright is presented with the Core Values Award.
Now, Mr. Wright is not here to accept his award, so I'll accept it on his behalf. Thank you, Jessica, though. I appreciate that. Let's give all of our Core Value Award winners a round of applause. Now we're going to transition into our service awards. I know many of you have been waiting for this time. We recognize service awards in 5-year intervals. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you guys get the hint. We have this year over 113 eligible employees in these categories. Anyone know what the aggregate number of years of service are? Any guesses? Yeah, it's a lot. Let's go with that. Just a lot. Yeah, Jay, they're going off just like yours, right? Yeah. Here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with the 30-year awards. We had 7 of them, but we do not have any representatives here because they're retiring. So let's give them a hand. Next, we have 25 years. Barbara?
We have one person present. That would be Michael Hill.
It's also exercise for the senior staff there. Up, down, up, down. Our next level will be 20 years. We have 18 that are eligible. Ms. Hill?
Darren Bailey. Vernon Brown, Jr. Stephen Bullard. Sherry Christian. Michelle Hare.
You brought our fan club.
Cornelia Lloyd. Jeffrey Oland. Edward Pitt.
And now it's time for those for 15 years. We have 16 recipients that are eligible. Mrs. Hill?
We have no one who was able to leave work and attend today.
So dedicated, so dedicated. Can we give them a hand for 15 years? And now for 10-year awards. We have 28 that were eligible.
First, we have Tacey Carter. Betty Kauser. Jason Everidge. Tony Means. Melissa Moses. James Rhodes. Giselle Rodriguez. Christopher Smith.
Are we ready for the next category? Excellent. The next category is 5 years. 5 years, we have 40 eligible employees for 5 years. Barbara, could you read those names, please?
Branyan Bullard. Charmaine Cole. Rodriguez Dorsey. William Gergenti. Ramona Griffin. William Hayes. Sherry Kropp.
Sherry's doing double duty because she's typically behind, making us look good on TV.
Jeffrey Moore. Danny Strickland, Jr. And finally, Vashawn Williams.
So, Barbara, Jay had a tradition that he started several years ago. And Jay, I need you to come up here for this one, where he interviewed the employee who's been here for the longest time. And I believe right now that would be Mr. Hill. Come on up here. Come on up here. Couple questions for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, 25 years ago, tell me what you were thinking when you joined the fire department.
What was I thinking? Well, this will get me by till I find out what I want to do when I grow up.
What's been your greatest memory as an employee?
I think the greatest memory here is just the ability to actually help the public. There's a lot of camaraderie within the fire department, but just the ability to serve others has been the greatest reward in
Excellent.
25 years.
That's a great answer. Now, hardest question. Can you name all of your supervisors in order? Go.
Millard Faircloth, Dale McLean, Kenny Tatum, Henry Gaddy, Mike Allen, Charles Williams, Calvin Bishop, David Hargis, and Ben Major.
Jay? A question?
I thought you were going to ask me to remember my supervisors. I have Alzheimer's. No, thank you. No, thank you. Question. So my question to you would be a little bit on a lighter end. The best movie you've seen in the last 20 years?
Backdraft.
Backdraft. Go figure. And your favorite childhood experience?
Camping. Just going camping with the family.
All right, there you go.
Thanks,
Congrats.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now, we're very fortunate to celebrate those who have learning awards this year. And today we're going to celebrate the graduates of the Lean Six Sigma certification. There she is.
We're looking for Angela. Is Chris McMillan here by any chance? Yeah. Elizabeth Rockwell? They didn't graduate this time, but they were instrumental in putting the program on with Chris McMillan. Our first Six Sigma graduate is Dale Autry. Next is Scott Bullard. Bianca Davis. Brian Gainey. Jaleisha Gilbert. Matthew Hall. Brittany McLaurin. Patricia Nelson. Anthony Orlandi. Jesse Oxendine. And since nobody's talking about Six Sigma, I just want to mention that this is an important performance metrics, lean production process program. We actually have the employees attend 8 very grueling classes with Mr. McMillan and take a final exam, so this is no small accomplishment.
Can we give a hand to all of our award winners, our core value award winners, those who have our service awards, as well as those who have our learning experience awards. Thank you so much. Mr. Manager, less than 40 minutes.
Jay?
That was a great event, and it's always wonderful to celebrate our terrific employees here with the City of Fayetteville. Once again, you can take pictures outside, hint, hint, or we can take a still photo from the YouTube site or the website. We are just amazed at the commitment that we have here at the City of Fayetteville. We have a wonderful amount of employees here who do great things for the for the residents of the city, and we're continuing to do great things as we move forward. Thank you so much for coming and spending your time here, and we hope you can celebrate with us over in the reception in the Lafayette Room. Thank you so much.